Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 23, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to get all of the gold times here in Portimao for the very first round of the MotoGP Academy. So now on the right hand side of the screen you can see my controller input for the DualShock or DualSense controller. I am using the PlayStation controller, but you can use the Xbox prompts as well if you want to copy my controller layout here in this video today. But now you know the controls, let's crack on with the first sector in Portimao. So here we go then, starting from the final corner here in Portimao, we will then charge down to the first sector so we can learn how to tackle the Primera corner, because of course this is being probably one of the most difficult braking markers in the entire MotoGP game. That is turn 1 here in Portimao. So position yourself in the middle of the track and gradually bring yourself over to the left hand side whilst being very careful on the front brake. You'll see in the left hand side of the screen there, I didn't really reach that far onto the front brake. I was only pressing it around 50% going down the downhill braking for turn 1. Now very gentle acceleration coming out of the corners and keeping it tight to turn 4 will enable you to bring on the ride height device in a nice straight line, getting across and achieving the gold. Now as we move on to the second part of Sector 1 again, I want to just recap what we've done because of course going by so quickly it's harder to learn. So once again another example for you how to tackle the first sector here. So across the line we'll now be looking to brake very gentle, so to the left hand side there, braking nice and smooth. Again about 50% of the braking is being pressed. Rear brake is getting squashed as well, but not too aggressively, and then smooth upon the brakes going into the right hand side. Now something else you may have noticed is I'm pushing backwards on the left analog stick. This is something I personally do, which I do recommend. It helps push the rider's weight backwards into the bike to keep the rear wheel planted to the ground. So moving sharply onto Sector 2, we've just completed Sector 1, so we now have another difficult braking marker here for the Tour VIP. Again, braking very gentle, very smooth, pushing backwards on the left analog stick and just gradually moving the analog stick in the direction where we need to be. Something else I want you to see is there is no pushing and pulling with the analog stick. It's very precise, it's pushed where it needs to be, and it is gentle. Also, don't downshift to first gear into Samsung corner. I tried it out and I don't like it. Stick to second gear going into Samsung, and then to Craig Jones corner here, and then to the right. Again, smooth, gentle braking with a nice focus on where to be upon the acceleration. So coming out of Sector 2, we've brought on the power coming into the left hand side here for Tour VIP. I'm going to brake a little bit firmer for you, but again it is important not to reach maximum braking. I find that you hit that maximum braking, you're going to start lifting the rear wheel up and then you're going to lose traction. The front brake is going to lock and it's going to be very difficult to tackle some of those corners. So if you can find the balance and brake gently around here in Portimao, you should be quite alright. And as you can see the comparison there, we didn't downshift into first gear going into the Samsung corner, which helped us quite a lot. So now braking again into Portimao, a little bit deeper this time. I went a little bit too late, and I also brought on the ride height device. Do not do that, that was a big mistake on my part. So coming out of Sector 3, we're going to tackle this corner again, so it's nice to continuously practice turn 10. Aim for the apex here, downshifted a bit prematurely then, still got the habits of MotoGP 22. I would advise downshifting to first only if your speed is right. If your speed is too high, don't downshift to first because it's a nightmare to keep the stability on board the Aprilia. But now across into the right hand side, still using a gentle amount of brake, tapping the rear brake where necessary with the square button, and then careful upon the acceleration to get the right exit coming out of these corners. Now of course it's important to note that in MotoGP 23 when you bring on acceleration the bike wants to lift up. It's better to be careful and just bring on the acceleration gently, or even feather and bounce the throttle. I find that's a little bit better than just opening the throttle because the bike just wants to sit up. So a lot of these corners you might see the right trigger is sort of blipping up with colour. As I gently press it, that's me bringing on the power nice and gently and controlled without just bringing it on too aggressively and going too wide. Now coming into the final corner, this is the most difficult part of Portimao in my opinion. It took me a few times to get this right, and the key part being you've got to go into the Galp late to get the gold. Now I can get the silver, I can get the bronze, no problem, but you have to go into the Galp late and brake in the middle of the corner. If you brake too early, you will not get the speed required for this challenge. So once again, getting the right line up here from turn 14, tight to the apex, bring on the power, upshift to third, into fourth, and keep it into the right hand side here. Braking as little and as late as possible for the gallop will do you right. Get right over to the right hand side, bring on the ride height device when the bike is stable and straight, and get across the line, and that should be enough for the gold. So you'll be pleased to know that if you've done the final sector here in Portimao, then you've pretty much done it, because if you can just piece it all together, the gold isn't too far away. So let's recap on what we've done so far. Into Primera corner, braking quite firm, pushing backwards on the left analog stick, using the rear brake just to slow us down, downshifting into second, and then keeping on the power but gently into turn 2 and 3. Now on the brakes we go into Lagos, a very nice gentle braking marker there. You can brake abruptly there because the track is firm and it's smooth. If it's not going downhill or it's going uphill, then you're okay to brake quite firm. But a downhill section like this, don't be braking any firmer than I'm doing so on the screen right now. Gentle acceleration coming out again. The power is not reaching 100%. It never does. Only on a long straight I would really pull the trigger fully down. As we now go to the right hand side, back across into the Samsung corner, staying in second gear as mentioned, and then gently bringing on the power, not allowing the Aprilia to wheelie. If the bike starts to wheelie going over that rise, then just kill all the power, because otherwise you're just going to do nothing but wheelie. Making a bit of a hash into the Portimao corner, it's okay, you know, mistakes are going to happen, so we did go a little bit too tight to the apex, but it will not compromise our speed for the gold objective. Firm on the brakes again for the left hand side. You can drop down to first here, but you do it quite late, so you still get the bike wobble a bit, so it's entirely up to you whether you want to downshift to first or not. I would probably recommend not doing so, but it's a habit that I'm still doing for MotoGP 22. But now into the right hand side, we'll go tight to the apex, but late on the brakes to the gallop, because of course that was important last time around. Bring on the power, but not too aggressively. Wait for the bike to line up, hit the ride out device, and get across the line to tackle the objective. So let's do just one more lap for good measure, just to make sure we really power this home now and get the pointers across, and which are the most important parts of Portimao. Turn 1, gentle braking, but enough to slow the bike down. Downshift to second, don't go down to first. Keep on the power, but gently here from turn 2 to 3. Quite firm on the brakes. You can reach full, but it's entirely up to you. I don't really like going full brake ever in MotoGP 23 or in any of the MotoGP games, as a matter of fact. But some corners you can, so just gauge it on your own preference. But into the Tour VIP, gentle, downshifting to second. You can go down to first here because of the speed and the nature of the corner. You're not really carrying that much speed in. You can turn out with quite precision. Keep gentle upon the acceleration, and also keep the analog stick in the direction you want to be. I don't want to see any pushing and pulling or removing your thumb off the left analog stick. If you start letting go and pushing back on and letting go, you're going to just knock the stability of your bike, and it's not going to work out very well for you. Now onto the brakes. A little bit later this time for the Portimao corner. Again a bit deep, but we got a nice apex for turn 11. Keep over to the right, then bring it on to the left hand side. Do careful of the wheelie coming into turn 11 and then into 12. Firm on the anchors for turn 13. As we now go to the left hand side, gentle upon the acceleration once more. And now to the right for 14. A innocuous corner. It might look difficult, but it's actually not too bad. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. It depends on your preference. I struggled there in the wet the other day, but for now, into the gallop for the final corner. Already hit the ride out device if you want to. It won't actually apply until you're straight, and there you go. Bang it on, get across the line, and that is tackle this objective by about a second clear. So guys, thank you very much for watching the video. I do hope you enjoyed. If this video has helped you, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'm definitely going to be doing more of these, so I would implore you to subscribe if this video has even been a little bit helpful for you today. Thanks for watching guys, see you in the next one. Don't forget to join the pit crew if you want to be part of the team, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.